Hi guys, welcome to Vision World. This channel is for the people who are interested in learning new things in science and technology. To know more and to stay connected, please visit the links in the description below.
In this tutorial, you will learn about differential amplifier, its types and how it works. We have also uploaded an article on differential amplifier on our website. This is the article. You can check this article and the link will be provided in the description of this video. Now, what is a differential amplifier? As its name suggests, it is a device which amplifies the difference in two input signals. So there are four kinds of differential amplifier: dual input balanced output, dual input unbalanced output, and single input balanced and unbalanced output. We will be discussing the first two in this tutorial. Okay, so look at this figure 1. Here we have two identical emitter bias circuits. Here identical means these collector resistances and these emitter resistances are equal in both of these circuits, and the same supply is provided, that is VCC, and the negative voltage VE at the emitter terminal. Now what if we provide the common supply as well as ground to these emitter bias circuits? So see this figure 2. We have done this here, and also we have provided the input voltages to the base of the transistor along with their internal resistance. Now this makes a differential amplifier, and here we have a dual input balanced output differential amplifier. Here balanced means the output is measured at collectors of both transistors which are at the same potential difference. Now let's come to the DC analysis of dual input balanced output differential amplifier. For DC analysis, what we do is we find the operating point values for the circuit. Now what is an operating point? An operating point is a DC voltage or current at a specific point when no input signal is applied. It is also called as bias point or Q point. So here in this circuit, for finding this Q point, we need a DC equivalent circuit with input voltages reduced to 0. So this is our DC equivalent circuit. Here you can see that input voltages are reduced to 0. Now we have to solve this circuit in order to find the Q point. Now you must be familiar with the term Kirchhoff's laws. Here we will apply Kirchhoff's voltage law. So we will apply KVL in this emitter bias section. Also note one thing here, that since this differential amplifier shows a symmetry, therefore we only need to solve for one section and the results will be same for the other sections also. So let's apply the KVL. Let's consider the direction of loop anti-clockwise. So let's solve this emitter bias section and find our equation. Here the equation will be minus R in 1 into IB. IB is the base current, minus VBE minus RE into 2IE plus VBE. I have written this equation here. Now here VBE is the potential difference between base and emitter terminals of this transistor Q. Now we know that the base current is equals to emitter current divided by beta. Here beta is the current gain, and we also know that base current is very small, so collector current is equivalent to the emitter current. Now from these equations we can find the value of emitter current, and we know that the value of beta is large, so this ratio Rn by beta will be negligibly small, so we can reduce this equation of emitter current. So we have obtained the value of emitter current. Now we will obtain the voltage at the collector terminal. So from this circuit, voltage at the collector terminal will be VCC minus IC into RC. We will use this equation, and VC is equals to VCC minus IC RC. And now the potential difference between the collector and emitter, that is VCE, will be VC minus VE. We know the value of VC, we will put the value, and here what will be the VE, that is emitter voltage. Now since the base voltage will be nearly 0, so emitter voltage will nothing but minus VBE. Okay, so now by using this we got the value of VCE. Now for the operating point, these values will be used. Now note here that since IC is equivalent to IE, so this equation can also be written for IC, and for the operating point we can write VCE as VCEQ and IC as ICQ. So we were able to find the operating point current and voltage. So this was the DC analysis. Now let's come to the AC analysis. Now in AC analysis, what we do is we find the voltage gain and input resistance on the circuit. Now just like we did in DC analysis, we made an equivalent circuit. We also need an equivalent circuit for AC analysis, and we will call it AC equivalent circuit. Now to make this circuit, what we do is we reduce VCC and VEE to 0, and we use a small signal T model for the transistors. So you can see this figure here. This is the equivalent circuit. Now for 1 second, let's come back to the main circuit of this differential amplifier. This was the main circuit. Here we had two input voltages with internal resistances Rn1 and Rn2, and we have a common emitter resistance, and we have two collector resistances Rc1 and Rc2. So in our AC equivalent circuit, we have our input voltages and their internal resistances, and we have our common emitter resistance. Here these current sources represent the collector current IC1 and IC2. So we will apply KVL in this circuit to find the voltage gain. Now I have marked the loops 1 and 2. We will apply KVL in these two loops. So when we apply KVL in loop 1, we will get this equation. Here V1 and V2 in these two equations are nothing but these V in 1 and V in 2. So you can see here in this branch where RE is connected, total current will be IE1 plus IE2. So this is what we have used here. Now we know that base current is equal to emitter current by current gain. So using these values we can simplify our equations, and we also know that the ratio of resistance by current gain will be negligibly small. Okay, now you can see here we finally got these two equations. Now here, considering two variables IE1 and IE2, we can solve these two equations and get the values for IE1 and IE2. In equation 11 and 12, I have the values of IE1 and IE2. You can check for yourself by solving these two equations. You will get these values. Now we will find the output voltage. Here from this circuit we know that output voltage is the difference between VC1 and VC2. So here V0 is equals to VC2 minus VC1. Now we know that VC is equals to ICRC. So we put that value, and since IC is equals to IE, so we replaced IC by IE in this equation. Now using these equations, we get this value of output voltage. We use these values of IE1 and IE2 from these equations 11 and 12, and we use these values in this equation number 13 to get this result of output voltage. Now this equation shows that a differential amplifier amplifies the difference between the two voltage. Now we need to find the voltage gain. So voltage gain is the ratio of output voltage and the differential voltage in this case. So here differential voltage will be V1 minus V2. So what will be the gain? This equation divided by V1 minus V2, we get gain is equals to RC by RE. This figure here shows the input and output waveform of the above differential amplifier. You can see that this is the input waveform with the differential voltage V in 1 minus V in 2, and above that is the amplified output voltage V0. Now we need to find the differential input resistance. Now differential input resistance is the equivalent resistance that is measured at either input terminal while keeping the other terminal grounded. Now what this means is, if we need to find the Rn1, then we will keep V in 2 as 0, and if we need to find Rn2, then we will keep V in 1 as 0. So here you can see that Rn1 is equals to V1 by IB1 when V2 is 0. Now we can put the value of IB1, that is IE1 by beta AC, and we can put the value of IE1 that we calculated above, and by simplifying we come to the result Rn1 is equals to twice beta AC into Re, where Re is the emitter resistance. Similarly, we can find R2, that will come out to be the same value. Now let's come to the second type, that is dual input unbalanced output differential amplifier. So this is the circuit of this kind of differential amplifier. Here the difference is two inputs are used, but the output is taken at collector of only one transistor. So there is some DC potential measured at the collector. In the earlier case, since output was measured at the collectors of both the transistors, therefore the net potential was 0. But this is not the case in this one. Hence the output that is measured is called unbalanced output. Now let's come to the DC analysis of this circuit. Now again for DC analysis we will need a DC equivalent circuit, and by applying KVL on that circuit we can find the values of ICQ and VCEQ, that are the operating point current and voltage values. Now since both these differential amplifiers use the same biasing arrangements, therefore their results will be same. So For this differential amplifier also, we will get the same results for ICQ and VCE. Now let's come to the AC analysis. Again, we will use small signal T model, place of transistors, and this is our AC equivalent circuit. Now for the voltage gain, if we apply Kirchhoff's voltage law in these two loops, we will get these two equations. As you can see here, we got the same equations like in the previous differential amplifier. So the expressions for the emitter currents of both the transistors will also be same. Let's come to the output voltage. Now here output voltage is measured across the collector of second transistor. So V0 will be equal to Vc2, and Vc2 is equals to Rc into Ic2, and we can replace Ic by IE because they are equivalent. And now we can use the value of IE2 from this equation into this equation of output voltage, and we will get our output voltage. We need to find the gain. Gain will be output voltage upon differential voltage, and when we solve this, we will get our result as RC upon 2RE. So the gain of dual input unbalanced output differential amplifier is half the gain of dual input balanced output differential amplifier. Now you can see here, this is our input waveform and this amplified one is our output waveform. Now if we take the output across the collector of other transistor, then the output will look like this dotted one. Now let's come to the differential input resistance. Now this differential amplifier is different only in the terms of how output is measured, but input resistance does not depend on that. Therefore the value of input resistance will also be same like it was in the previous differential amplifier. So this is it for this tutorial. I hope you found this tutorial informative.
If you like our work and want to learn more, please support us by giving us a like and do share the video. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon to get a notification whenever a new video is uploaded.